Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide to Banished, shall we? So, one of the things I always do when I pick up and play again, I just start at 1 time speed or even paused so I can take inventory of where we are. I need some builders, I can see that right away, so I will assign them and give myself 2 builders, and I will actually go to 3 builders and keep just 1 laborer. Remember to always keep 1 laborer. So I want to check my raw materials. I only have 34 logs. I have no stone, and that's concerning. But you can see that my people are here gathering. I've queued up a bunch of gathering to be done on stone and logs. I have a surplus of 590 food over what's being stored in the boarding house. I do have firewood online being cut. And we are in the business of building this storage barn over here to smooth out the travel time for our hunter, our gatherers, and our foresters. Let's see here. We could check inside our storage barn, and you see we're starting to get mushrooms, berries. This is from the gatherer, and it looks like perhaps they already took the roots as well into the boarding house. So, another element that we want to add, and here are some buildings that we can think about, incorporating. We do want, if we go into the town services, we will not need a well. I don't believe, because we have disasters turned off, so we shouldn't have to worry about fires. We do want a school, though, at some point, because this will educate our children to become better workers. And I'm going to plot that in right away, actually. This is something you want to get up, relatively early, and I'll put it right here, because it allows your children, and we have a bunch of them, to become more productive. You only need 1 person to be the teacher. So it is worth mentioning that with a schoolhouse, normally children can just go right into working at a younger age, but if you have the schoolhouse, they do have to kind of take some more time to be educated. So they're a little bit slower entering the workforce, but when they get there, they're better. And if you get into a situation where you need a bunch of people immediately, you can just turn off the school, and then those students will go work who are capable to work. But usually that's not a problem if you're pacing yourself. So we're getting a school in. Good. Another thing that we need to have in is we definitely want to get an herbalist for just a little bit of medicine. It's not like, a complete deal breaker, but we want to keep our people healthy, and we have none. You are looking to place an herbalist in an area where you don't have a forester, because they want old trees. So you kind of pick an area that you're not going to cut down the trees, and you're just going to leave them there for the forester to work. So, we could just put it a little bit further out over here and not do anything there. It's going to be a bit of a hike, but that's okay. So we could kind of drop this, somewhere like this, and just kind of rotate this around, and, maybe put it like right here. Now, I'm actually going to just put that there, but something else you can do is you can push this pause button to pause the construction of a building, and just kind of plan out where you want things, but not actually commit to building them. If you pause it, they won't bring it resources, they won't even start to build it. You could just kind of leave it there. And let's see here. But what it does for you is it just gives you a place where you know that you're going to put that to kind of help you plan. So we've put that in, but we're not going to build it. We will build the school, however. And we do want a blacksmith and a tailor. Later, we'll get ourselves a tavern. Other things that are very useful, a town hall is amazing because it gives you these windows that provide a lot more information about your town at a glance that is data that's collected by the bureaucrats, and so it's very, very handy, but it is a huge stone and iron investment, so it's going to take a bit. Hospital is further down the road. Diseases are important to heal, especially if you're bringing in immigrants. I believe immigrants always bring a disease with them, so you want to, or migrants or whatever. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. They're called nomads in this game. I always call them immigrants or migrants because of Dwarf Fortress, but in this game they're called nomads. So the nomads will bring a disease with them, and you want to have a hospital for that, so we'll get that eventually. A graveyard is super useful to keep people happy when people start dying, and it is a lot of stone, but we might build a small graveyard or cemetery up front to just kind of provide that service early on. It's not as bad as like in RimWorld if people die and there's just a corpse that's left out that upsets everybody on site, but it does make people sad if they don't have a graveyard, so we certainly want to try and get one. And the church makes people happy. It's very nice. It could serve a bunch of people. Up to 250 or 300 residents can be serviced by one church that only takes one chaplain. So, we'll definitely be building that at some point. And the next things that we want to start doing after we get this barn finished and get this school finished would be to put some houses over here. You could see we had another person grow up into an adult. That's why we have now 2 laborers. I'm going to put that laborer to being a builder so we can get some of these projects done. And this will help us start to grow the population. We're up to 834 food. One thing you could do that's really useful is to click on, like, for example, the hunting cabin. And it's being worked. We have one person here. And there's this button there's this bullseye button, and then to the left of that there's a kind of swirly button that's grayed out, and if you click on it, it shows you the production of this building for this year and the previous year, or as you get later into the game it'll do it season by season, I believe. And this will just show you what's going on here. What are you actually getting? And we're getting 200 venison and 6 leather, so we can make clothes with that leather, and we can eat the venison. The gatherer's hut, look at what it produces. Onions, mushrooms, roots, and berries. 4 different food types. It's amazing. And now we have this barn that is completed, so people could just store stuff right there. Fantastic. It's nice to have 2 barns as well because they will quickly start filling up. This barn, we just started, and it's already 23% full. They fill up very rapidly, and you always want to have enough storage space. Okay, so they're working hard. They're clearing this out. We're up to 73 wood, 7 stone, and they haven't given enough stone to the schoolhouse yet, the builders, but they will. We actually have more builders than we need. I'm going to scale back on the builders. Actually, no, I'm not, because I am ready. I feel good about our boarding house situation, and I'm ready to just drop in one house. So we're going to build a wooden house out here so that people can get to work more quickly. If they work over here, less travel time means more resources for us. The other thing the boarding house will do for us is we're building wooden houses up front. You could try to jump to stone, but it's 40 stone per house, and we have very little. So it's not advisable. But once we decide to upgrade to stone, you can actually take a wooden house and then click upgrade, and you will get a discount on resources to turn a wooden house into a stone house. However, the people that live there will become homeless. But if you have the boarding house, then they'll just go live there for a bit, and you don't have to worry about them being homeless. So you see this area is getting cleared out, which is providing more space for our town center and our activities. All right, I'm going to unpause it, and I am actually going to speed it up to 5 times. So you can see the firewood is actually already full. So this symbol right here with the up arrow and the horizontal line means that this has met its limit for that resource. So we have a limit of 200 firewood that is to be made. Now that does not include the firewood that's at this boarding house or inside people's houses. That just means how much firewood we have stored. Now I like to have this limit a lot higher because you can sell firewood if you want to. It trades for 4 units, which is pretty good. But also, you can... I like to not run out of this. So I'm going to actually crank this up to 300 for now, and then just see where we're at. In my Let's Play, I honestly go to like 400 or 500, but this is fine for now, just to kind of put this person back to work and get some more firewood in. All right, this is looking good. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to just do remove everything and select over here. So this is going to remove... You see all the red dots appearing. There's trees, there's iron that we weren't getting before, and there's also, you know, some gathering items that are on the ground too, like some mushrooms and some herbs and stuff. They're going to get all of that. They're just going to take it all. We had another child grow up. Perfect. So our resource pile is starting to, you know, fill up. If this stockpile ever gets too full, it's like 50% full, this is not a problem. You can instantly just build another one. So don't worry about it. I'm going to block in some new construction for us. I'm going to go to resource production. And you can see we only have 10 clothes and 20 tools. So I'm going to drop in a tailor right behind this barn along this road here. The barn needs access on the back as well, which is why I can't build right there. And we're going to put a road there to smooth that. And then I'm going to drop in a blacksmith. Also, right along this road here. And then I'm going to build roads that go behind the barn, through here along the stockpile, and then make sure that this goes all the way out to the blacksmith. And I'm going to pause both of these for the time being, because I'm just putting them where I plan to build these services. I want them kind of close by to this stockpile so they can get the iron right away, and so that people can get the tools and the clothes and put them into the barn, or just take them into their house. These are kind of like things that I want as immediate town services and right in the center. The school is going up. This house is going up. We're at 734 food, which is tremendous. Okay. Now, whenever you hear that sound, it can mean several things. It can mean good things. It can mean bad things. In this case, there will be an icon that appears on your UI ribbon in the bottom right corner, and this little like cup is empty means a reserve of something is low. So they're telling me the reserve of food is low. So we were doing really well on food, but then they just filled up this house with food. Now, we're not starving. We have plenty. But this is a good time for us to add another gatherer. I'm just going to put one of the laborers on gathering. It's winter, you know, so we're not really getting the farming stuff. We've eaten it, so that's important. And another thing we could do, if we wanted, was we could peel back one builder and just, add ourselves a hunter. We're going to build a fishing house soon, too, to add another type of food. But hunting and gathering are just very, very good for us at the moment. Okay, so now the school is done, and we need a teacher. I'm going to take off one builder, and we're going to give a teacher, and now our kids will start being educated. I'm going to wait till this house gets finished. Okay, the firewood's done. And when this fills up and this icon is here, we have enough firewood. That's good. This person is actually going to go be a laborer now because their job is done. And so they'll come back when we start running low on firewood, which is tremendous. Okay. This is 65% full. So if we want to build another one of these, you go to the Storage, Markets, and Trade button, and we're going to build a stockpile. And we can just kind of, build another one right here if we'd like. You can build it however big you want. Oh, and we should build one over here for the wood. Let me just drop this in right here. All right, the farmers are starting to work. We have two builders who are doing nothing because nothing is turned on. So the first thing I want is a tailor. I want people to... We have enough tools, but we're running low. But I want to build this, so I'm going to unpause it. This house is done, and... Okay, an entire family has decided to move into this house. So nobody is going to be... I don't think anybody's having children in this house, but that's okay. And hopefully these people are working here. I'm pretty sure... I don't know this for a fact. If anybody could clarify it, that'd be awesome. I'm pretty sure the idea is that people who live here will prioritize working in the area. But, yeah, forester, gatherer, gatherer. They did. The game did that. So it's like it reallocated the labor based on proximity, I believe. So that's tremendous. So we're going to start building some more houses, too. These people can't have children in this situation, but there is now room at the boarding house for that kind of stuff. So just slowly, we're going to build a few houses out here. I'm going to pause this, though, because I want my builders to focus on... the Tailor. You see the food has gone to 0. And that's very scary, except there's a lot... Whenever you see that, just look. There's a ton of food here, and then in this house, they took a ton of food. So it's because when we built the new house, they, cleaned out the storage. But you could see that this is the previous year's gathering, and we're already catching up to that now that we have, a couple of gatherers in the area. Okay. And we are running low on logs. Right. So we need some more wood for construction, and that is not a problem. What we'll do is we're going to remove just trees for right now is fine. I'll go ahead and take out all of these trees here and some trees back here. This is a ton. So and we're also running low on stone. Right. So this is iron right here. It's the darker colored stuff. What we need is some stone. There's a ton of stone up here. I'll just go ahead and get that stone. Stone and iron on the surface are limited resources. Once you have harvested all the stone and iron from the surface of your map, there is no more. Trees will regrow, and you can plant them and stuff with the forester. You can incentivize their growth. But stone and iron are limited. Now, you can build a quarry or a mine to gather stone and iron respectively, but they're enormous and they're very slow, or you can trade for it with traders once you build a trading post along the river. Don't worry about that at the beginning of the game. There is plenty of that for us to get. You can see we're already up to 368 excess food. We're doing great. This icon here means that this person can't do anything, the woodcutter, because there's not enough logs for them to even cut wood. But there will be. The builders, when the supplies aren't there, they will go gather them. And I believe that even includes working as laborers to, chop trees. But I'm not 100% on that. But they're going to go try to find the resources and bring them. Including, not even if they're in the storehouse. I think they'll go get them if they're just lying around, too. Okay, and now we're getting a good bit of food in. And if you start to feel like you have too much food, then what you can do is just take off a hunter and a gatherer and just put those back to 1 and let those people go do laboring or building or something like that. Now look, we have our first student, so we're teaching our first child who is of age to go to school, and they will become a much harder worker once they enter the workforce. What we're missing here is stone. So this has all the wood, all the iron. It's just waiting for stone, and we are gathering it here. But they're working on all these trees that we queued up. So if you say, well, can you work on something else? You could clear away the trees that you had cut. Oh, there's some stone over here I didn't get. I'm going to, just while we're waiting for things to happen, I'm going to go ahead and put in a fishing dock. And we can put this wherever we like, provided a road can get to it. And it needs to kind of be on the land. Wait, other way. Here we go. This'll do. Well, no, it all has to be green. Here we go. So this is like a dubious location, but I think as long as it's placeable and it's in the water, you're good. You don't need to, like, look for fish or anything like that on the map. I think it just works out fine. And I'm going to pause this. All right. We have 2 students, 800 food, 300 firewood. Plenty of logs now, and the stone, as you can see, they're working on it here, and it will be carried over. We're just a little bit away from the tailor, and we're in plenty of time. There's still 10 extra clothes, so we're okay. Okay, the firewood's done. All right. Good, good. Alright, you can see they're starting to harvest, so at this point, how much leather do we have stored up? 6 right here, 12 over here, very good. All right, we're above 1,000, so I'm going to just temporarily take one hunter off of their job so that we can just have some more laboring to get these buildings up. I'm actually going to put them on building. And we need one more piece of stone, and this thing is ready. Here we go, see? So now they're just going to put this together. Fantastic. Almost done. Okay, great. So I'm going to... the tailor is done. We will unpause the blacksmith. Now, with the tailor, we need somebody, obviously, to work here. So I'll take one of these builders away, and they will become a tailor. And I'm going to set... The close limit at 50 is good. It's actually pretty high. But if we ever get to that point, we're going to be set. For like so long in the early game, if you have 50 spare clothes, you are doing just fine. And then that person will go out and work. So they're going to go get all the leather that we've got and start turning it into clothes so that nobody is cold. And they are going to start building this. Most of these supplies we might even have enough stone. It's really close. Yeah, we're low on stone, and that's okay. There's some more stone down here. Also, this forest where we're, hunting, this has a bunch of stone. And we don't need stone in here for gathering and hunting and stuff like that, so we can just take that. So this is never, the orchard has never produced any food, but in the third year it should start producing food, I'm pretty sure. This thing is giving us 364 wheat, and this is giving us, a tree grew apparently in there, but we're getting a lot of pumpkins from that, and we have just an amazing amount of food, and it's great. And they're done. They're going to finish this up. Alright, here we go. Okay, so this is done. I'm going to pause it. And we can take off one builder to be a blacksmith. And we can just push this arrow here. Now, the other thing is, you can, if you want to mess around seasonally, we're in November, we don't need any farmers. You could turn these farmers off and start putting them into specialized labor in other areas, and then you just have to remember when the spring starts again to put them back onto farming so that they get the crops planted in time. If you try to plant the crops too late because you forget, then you will get very low yield or none at all. So just make sure that you switch it back. I am going to just be easy on ourselves and not do that so we can't miss the opportunity to grow. But it does mean it's a little bit slower as you wait for that. Okay, so that's been built. The next thing I actually want to build is this house. That's pretty easy for us to get going. Look at this. We now have over 20 because of the extra space that has been afforded to us once we got the people out of the boarding house into these homes. And the population is growing nicely. It's not too fast. We can handle it. And 4 of our children are now students. So we still have a large population of young people, which is good for we're trying to grow. So that's a reasonable ratio. But this house is about to go up. And this, you see this? This is because we have 21 clothes. They've turned all of the leather that we have into clothing. So they're done. So they won't, they're going to go be a laborer right now, which is great. And speaking of that, let me just go ahead and I'm going to just do pure removal on this whole area here. So we've got a lot of resources being gathered. We have plenty of food. And we are doing beautifully. We're about to finish our second house. We still need to get this herbalist going, this fishing hut in. And then we have some more work to do as we expand and get more services installed. But I think that our little community is growing well. Actually, we just had another baby. So we're up to 22 population here. And we are thriving. I hope you're still finding this series to be useful and fun. Let me know if you have any questions about the game in the comments below so I can help you out. And I will check you in the next episode when we continue to build and grow and get more stuff going on in our settlement. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.